How do celebrities go from millions to nothing? Hollywood red carpets, roaring stadiums, and sold-out concert stages are supposed to be the finish line of success, fame, fortune, and a life most people only dream about. Some of the very stars who once ruled movie screens, sports arenas, and music charts later faced shocking downfalls, bankruptcy, homelessness, and lives no one ever expected. Today, we're diving into unbelievable stories of celebrities who went from the top of the world to places no one saw coming. So buckle up, because some of these endings might truly surprise you. Jan Michael Vincent once looked like the perfect Hollywood leading man. With a rugged jawline, movie star charm, and the confidence of a classic action hero, he became widely known for starring in the hit TV series Airwolf. For a while, it seemed like he was flying high, both on screen and in real life. Fans loved him, producers trusted him, and his future in Hollywood looked secure. But behind the fame, Vincent was fighting battles that no camera could hide. Alcohol and stimulant began creeping into his life and slowly took control. Throughout the late 1970s, he faced several arrests for cocaine possession. The pattern didn't stop there. In the mid-1980s, his name appeared in police reports again after bar fights, assault charges, drunk driving incidents, and other violent confrontations. His reckless lifestyle soon carried serious consequences. Vincent was involved in several car accidents, many linked to driving under the influence. The crashes left him with numerous broken bones and long-term health damage. Eventually, the injuries became so severe that his right leg had to be amputated, forcing him to rely on a prosthetic limb or sometimes a wheelchair. As the years passed, his health declined and his career disappeared from the spotlight. Struggles with addiction and worsening circumstances eventually pushed him into homelessness. The once famous television star quietly faded from Hollywood's memory. In his final years, Vincent lived a secluded life in rural parts of Mississippi and North Carolina, far removed from the fame he once enjoyed. He later passed away at the age of 74. You won't believe how this once famous celebrity ended up homeless. Comment 1 now and watch till the end to learn about her shocking downfall. John Drew Barrymore was born into Hollywood royalty. The Barrymore name was legendary, an acting dynasty that had ruled the stage and screen for generations. With striking looks and natural charm, John seemed destined to continue the family legacy. In the 1950s, he began building a promising career. Appearing in films like The Sundowners and High School Confidential, audiences saw a rising star, and for a moment it looked like another Barrymore was about to conquer Hollywood. But life behind the scenes was far less glamorous. While his talent opened doors, his personal life kept slamming them shut. John struggled with alcoholism and lived a turbulent lifestyle filled with volatile relationships and several failed marriages. Legal troubles and financial problems soon followed, turning what should have been a steady climb to stardom into a chaotic roller coaster. By the 1960s, the damage was becoming clear. His career began to falter as directors and studios grew wary of his unpredictable behavior. Instead of headlines about great performances, stories about personal struggles started to define his reputation. In Hollywood, that's usually a sign the spotlight is about to move on. And it did. In his later years, John Drew Barrymore lived far from the glamour that once surrounded his famous family name. The man who had once been seen as Hollywood's next big thing gradually slipped into obscurity, disconnected from the industry that had once welcomed him. By the time he passed away in 2004, he had become a shadow of the promising actor many once believed he would be. His tragic decline highlights the destructive nature of addiction and the fleeting nature of fame, even for those born into it. Margot Kidder, best known as Lois Lane in the Superman films, once lived a life that looked straight out of a Hollywood dream. Smart, witty, and fearless on screen, she became the perfect partner to the Man of Steel. Audiences loved her sharp personality, and Hollywood quickly embraced her as one of its most recognizable faces. But Kidder's life off camera was just as headline-worthy. She was romantically linked to famous figures like comedian Richard Pryor and even Canadian Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau. In other words, her life sometimes sounded less like a movie script and more like a tabloid bestseller, which is exactly why what happened next shocked almost everyone. In the mid-1990s, Kidder began struggling with severe mental health challenges, including schizophrenia and deep depression. During a manic episode in 1996, the once glamorous star was suddenly spotted wandering the streets of Los Angeles. The transformation was startling. The elegant Lois Lane people remembered now looked disheveled, her hair cut unevenly, some teeth missing, and the confident movie star presence nearly gone. For a time, Kidder survived by sleeping in backyards and cardboard boxes, sometimes approaching strangers for cigarettes. Occasionally, kind strangers would help her with a motel room for the night. Eventually, both her family and police located her in Glendale, California, where she had been living behind bushes inside a cardboard box. Thankfully, the story didn't end there. Kidder was later admitted to a private psychiatric facility where she began receiving treatment. Over time, she rebuilt her life and became a powerful voice for mental health awareness, openly sharing her experiences to help others. She once summed up her journey with a striking reminder: we are all a breath away from mental illness, homelessness, all these things we tend to look down on. Sometimes even the bravest reporter in Metropolis needs help finding her way back. At the age of 14, Erin Moran rose to fame and quickly became a household name. Best remembered for playing Joni Cunningham on the hit sitcom Happy Days. She grew up in front of millions of viewers. For years, audiences watched her charming character light up the screen, and it looked like she had a long, successful future in Hollywood. But life after the show turned out to be far less cheerful than the sitcom that made her famous. As the years passed, financial troubles began piling up. Reports later revealed that Moran had spent most of her savings and eventually lost her California home to foreclosure in 2010. With nowhere else to go, she and her husband moved into a trailer in Indiana owned by his aging mother. It wasn't exactly Hollywood luxury, but it was at least a roof over their heads. Unfortunately, that arrangement didn't last long. After a night of drinking, Moran returned to the trailer and reportedly got into a heated argument with her mother-in-law. The confrontation ended with Moran being kicked out of the trailer park entirely. Suddenly, the former television star found herself drifting from motel to motel without a stable place to live. Witnesses later recalled seeing her looking disheveled outside a local inn, far removed from the bright lights of television studios. In the end, Erin Moran's struggles reached a heartbreaking conclusion when she suffered a fatal heroin overdose. Still facing financial hardship and without a permanent home, a stunning fall for someone who once made millions of viewers smile every week. Lonnie Willis once looked like someone destined for a glamorous life. As a fitness model, she regularly appeared in magazines, building a reputation for her athletic look and confident presence. Her fame climbed even higher when she married Jeremy Jackson, the actor known from Baywatch. For a moment, it seemed like Willis had stepped straight into the sunny California dream fitness covers, celebrity circles, and a connection to one of television's most recognizable shows. But the story didn't stay picture perfect for long. Behind the scenes, Willis struggled with meth addiction and serious mental health challenges. Those battles gradually pulled her life off track. The glamorous lifestyle faded, and eventually she found herself living on the streets around Venice Beach. Willis has publicly blamed much of her downfall on her troubled relationship with Jeremy Jackson. She has described incidents of intense domestic conflict, even claiming that he once attempted to strangle her. According to Willis, those experiences deeply affected both her mental health and her ability to rebuild her life. But one of her most unusual claims has drawn even more attention. Willis says she cannot live indoors because she believes her body reacts to electricity. She once explained that she felt like she had been electrocuted every day for nearly a year. She also said she can sense electricity from wires, batteries, chemicals, and certain metals, claiming her body processes those elements differently. Whether this explanation reflects a real medical issue or is connected to the effects of addiction remains unclear. Do you think her explanation sounds believable, or something else entirely? Mindy McCready, a well-known country music star, once stood in the spotlight with a powerful voice and a promising future. Her emotional songs and strong stage presence made her a favorite among country fans. For a while, it looked like she had everything a successful career, loyal listeners, and a growing reputation in the music world. But behind the fame, her personal life was filled with struggles. For years, Mindy battled addiction and serious mental health challenges. These issues eventually became so overwhelming that she was placed in a court-ordered rehabilitation program in an effort to help her recover and stabilize her life. Unfortunately, the turmoil around her continued to grow. Her boyfriend was later found lifeless at their property after a tragic incident involving a firearm. The devastating news pushed Mindy into an even deeper emotional crisis. Only about a month later, another heartbreaking incident unfolded at the same location. Reports suggested that one of the final emotional blows came when she learned that her children might be placed under the care of her estranged mother. When authorities arrived, they reported a disturbing scene in which Mindy had harmed her dog with a firearm before later turning the weapon toward herself. She was only 37 years old. Throughout her life, Mindy McCready struggled with addiction, emotional pain, and overwhelming personal pressures that ultimately consumed the once celebrated country singer. After watching this story, what do you think if this story touched your heart? Please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel to help it grow. Thank you so much for your support. David Cassidy was once the ultimate teen idol. As the charming star of the hit television show The Partridge Family, he had fans screaming, posters on bedroom walls, and a level of fame most young performers could only dream about. In the 1970s, Cassidy wasn't just popular, he was everywhere. Concerts were packed. Magazines couldn't get enough of him, and his smile alone could probably sell out a stadium. But behind the heartthrob image, real life was far messier than a TV script. Cassidy's personal life became increasingly complicated over the years. Multiple marriages, children from different relationships, and ongoing struggles with substance abuse created a storm that followed him long after the cameras stopped rolling. Fame may have opened the door, but it didn't keep life simple. His problems became very public in 2010 when he was arrested for driving under the influence. Unfortunately, that wasn't the end of it. In 2013 and 2014, Cassidy faced additional arrests related to drunk driving, drawing even more attention to his battle with alcohol and stimulant. At one point, he openly admitted that he was an alcoholic. As the years passed, the situation grew even more chaotic. Legal troubles continued, including arrests connected to narcotics and other controversial behavior. The once beloved teen star found his life spiraling in a direction far removed from the cheerful world of the Partridge Family. What began as a story of fame and screaming fans slowly turned into a cautionary tale about how quickly life can change once the spotlight fades. Houston McTear earned a reputation as the fastest man on earth, and when people said fast, they meant blink and you miss it. In high school, he tied the world record for the 100-yard dash, blazing through the distance in just 9.0 seconds. That kind of speed didn't just win races, it helped propel him out of poverty in Florida and straight into the national spotlight. Soon, McTear was training in Los Angeles, even working alongside legendary figures like Muhammad Ali and trainer Harold Smith. By 1978, he had made the cover of Sports Illustrated, a moment that seemed to confirm he was destined for greatness. He even qualified for the United States Olympic team in 1980. Everything was lining up perfectly until history stepped in. That year, the United States boycotted the Olympic Games. And just like that, McTear's Olympic dream vanished before he ever reached the starting line. Following that devastating setback, McTear's life began to fall apart. Struggling with addiction, McTear eventually found himself homeless during the 1980s. The man once famous for his sprinting speed lived on the beaches of Santa Monica, sometimes relying on meals from the Claire Foundation, a charity that helps the homeless. But his story didn't end there. With help from an older woman who believed in him, McTear slowly rebuilt his life. The former sprint star eventually found stability again and even married Linda Haglund, a former Swedish Olympic sprinter, from world records to sleeping on the beach and then finding his way back. Sometimes the race of life has more laps than anyone expects. Randy Quaid built a reputation in Hollywood with a style that was hard to ignore. Known for his quirky humor and memorable roles in films like National Lampoon's Vacation and Independence Day, he had the kind of offbeat charm that made audiences remember him long after the credits rolled. For years, his career looked steady and promising. Directors liked his unpredictable energy, and fans loved the way he could steal a scene without even trying. By the mid-2000s, Quaid's personal life began to unravel in very public ways. Reports of strange behavior and growing personal conflicts started appearing in the headlines. Soon, legal troubles followed. He faced multiple arrests, including a highly publicized case involving vandalism and burglary charges. The once reliable character actor suddenly found himself better known for courtroom appearances than movie premieres. Money problems added even more pressure. As financial difficulties mounted, Quaid began making unusual claims that powerful figures in Hollywood were secretly targeting him. According to him, mysterious groups whom he called star whackers were responsible for destroying celebrities. Yes, it sounded like the plot of a thriller. Except this time, it was real life. In the early 2000s, Randy Quaid and his wife made an unexpected move. They sought asylum in Canada, claiming they were trying to escape people they believed were targeting them. Today, the actor who once appeared in blockbuster hits lives far from the Hollywood spotlight. His career, once filled with promise, faded into relative obscurity. Randy Quaid's story is a reminder that fame can be unpredictable sometimes. The strangest twists happen long after the cameras stop rolling. Not every fall from fame happens on a movie set or concert stage. Sometimes it happens on a basketball court, and sometimes in a parked car. Take Sugar Ray Williams. For example, once known as a respected NBA player, he spent more than a decade in professional basketball, even serving as captain of the New York Knicks and later joining the Boston Celtics, helping the team reach the 1985 NBA Finals. Back then, he was living the dream every young athlete imagines: bright arenas, roaring crowds, and a career built on talent and hard work. But life after the final buzzer can be much tougher than the game itself. By 2010, reports surfaced that Williams had been living out of his Buick in Pompano Beach, Florida. Yes, the same man who once competed on one of basketball's biggest stages was now sleeping in his car. It wasn't a dramatic Hollywood-style downfall involving wild parties or reckless spending. In fact, his situation was quite different. Williams had declared bankruptcy and struggled to find stable work after leaving the NBA. Unlike many stories about former stars, his hardship wasn't tied to stimulant, alcohol, or gambling. Instead, it seemed to come down to something even more frustrating: plain misfortune and the difficulty many athletes face adjusting to life after professional sports. In interviews, Williams openly criticized the league for not doing enough to support retired players. He once pointed out that teams always talk about loyalty during a player's career, but when the jerseys are hung up, that loyalty can suddenly disappear. As he put it, players like him helped build the league that now generates massive salaries for younger stars. Sadly, his struggles continued. In 2013, Sugar Ray Williams lost his battle with colon cancer, closing the final chapter of a life that had traveled from NBA arenas to the quiet isolation of a parked car. His story reminds us that sometimes the toughest game begins after the career ends. Thank you for watching part 3 of this series about famous stars who once stood in the spotlight but later faced shocking downfalls, bankruptcy, homelessness, and lives far different from the fame they once knew. Your support means a lot to us. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more stories like these, Please subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss our newest videos. Thanks again for staying with us until the end.